All right, welcome back to this Thursday morning and another episode of Seeds of Music, the web's #1 resource for independent artists, where I bring on music industry professionals and full-time independent artists to talk about ways to build a bigger, stronger fan base and make more income with music. Now, this is going to be another mini lesson where I want to talk to you about social media and how people are obsessed with over having 10 billion followers and like 1,000 million likes. It's pretty much the lie of big social media numbers, and because I don't want you guys to be fooled about this, because people make such a big deal out of them, but you're really going to find out in this video why it's not what it seems, and I don't want you to be fooled by this. Okay, so first off, the internet has brought this idea of more. Okay, as far as musicians go, as far as the music goes, there's more exposure for musicians because of the internet, because there's tons of platforms to promote yourself on, from Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Google Plus, Pinterest, and Twitter, and on and so on and so forth. And that's just social media alone. There's also music streaming platforms, internet radio, blogs, and digital magazines. These are all places where the internet has added even more exposure for everyone and their mother as far as musicians go. It also means less. The internet also means less for us musicians. Why? It means less attention from everyone else. There are more distractions for potential fans than ever in the history of history, pretty much. I mean, you're literally competing for the attention of fans in a sea of amateurs and professionals alike, because everyone's got a cell phone, everyone's online, everyone uses the internet. Almost everyone uses the internet on a daily basis, but you're even finding out that even older people, like in their 80s, are also getting iPads. Even my grandma got an iPad and is on Facebook commenting on my post, so I have to be careful actually what I post on there now. But literally, it's a sea. If you ever heard the phrase "sea of noise," this is what they're talking about. It's the attention that you're trying to get in just a sea of musicians talking over each other, and they can be either amateur musicians or professionals alike, because to tell you what, there is no bar of entry here. It is extremely low. Literally, you can produce the worst piece of music ever written, but that's not going to stop you from creating your Twitter account, your Facebook, or YouTube account and trying to promote that extremely poor crafted song or music. And that's the problem. I mean, it just adds like even more junk to the noise, even for people who make great music. So for as far as the social media numbers go, all right, big numbers, all right, equal a lot of exposure for you as a musician, but they don't equal attention. All right, that's the point I want to hit home here. Just because you have 10,000 Facebook likes doesn't mean that anyone is paying attention. You're getting exposed to that amount of people. All right, if you have 20,000 Twitter followers, you're showing up in 20,000 feeds. All right, and that's exposure, but it does not mean that people are paying attention, and it does not guarantee at all that anyone actually cares about your music. Because let's face it, hitting a follow button and hitting a like button is not a huge effort on someone's part. It indicates some kind of interest, but it doesn't necessarily say that that person really cares about you, really cares about your music. So how do you know that people care? How do you know that people will turn into a fan? They take action by clicking on a link, adding social proof, which would be hitting the like button, retweeting, etc., or overall just sharing whatever content that you're posting on social media. All right, that shows interest. That shows that they care. All right, that shows that they're interested in you and your music. So having big social media numbers do essentially two things. Number one, it easily impresses people, especially those that are not very knowledgeable about how social media really works. Number 2, it indicates just a general level of popularity, but says nothing about that artist's income. Now, I'm just going to repeat that. Having huge social media followers indicates that you have some level of popularity, but it doesn't say anything about whether or not you're making any money at all, some money from music, or making bank from music. Now, I'm telling you, you have to be smarter than this. To survive in today's quote-unquote new music industry, you have to work smarter than the rest of those musicians who are obsessed with getting more followers, getting more likes. Now, I'm going to illustrate this with an example. I'm not going to show this guy's Facebook or Twitter page because I don't want to call him out on this, but I felt like this was really, really important to share with you, okay? As an example of where having big amounts of followers on your social media accounts doesn't really equate to what you really want, and that's making money from music, making a living. So this guy was a young solo artist. At the time that I created this video, he had around 79,000 Facebook likes, 82,000 Twitter followers. Now, I'm pretty sure that if you're watching this video right now and you're struggling to build your fan base online, you're probably very impressed by these numbers, all right? Because it's not easy getting that many Facebook likes, and it takes a while to get that many Twitter followers. I mean, for sure. In this case, I happen to know that this solo artist had an appearance on a network, national network television show. So that's probably how he was able to garner this many Facebook likes and Twitter followers. His presence on YouTube isn't that big. It's about 175. So we're just going to focus on his Facebook and Twitter presence. So with those huge numbers, you want to take a guess at if people care? Well, I mean, so many people liked his page and so many people follow him on Twitter, then people, shouldn't they care? I mean, that means they care, right? That means he's successful. Well, on his Facebook page, when I took a closer look, at the time that I created this video, his last post was June 14th. That's a couple months ago. All right. 1 like. All right. Before that, it was June 3rd. 3 likes and 3 comments. That's 6 interactions, 6 points of engagement from his fans, so-called fans, quote unquote, out of over 79,000 likes to his Facebook page, only 6 interactions with that post. Not even Facebook would limit that post reach so much that he would get that little interaction. The problem isn't with Facebook. The problem is with this guy's strategy. You see, what I found is that Facebook posts in general reach 4% of the total Facebook likes of that Facebook fan page. All right. So if we took this guy's reach, which was around 69,000, 4% of that is at least 3,000 people. That means when he put out that post, he reached at least 3,000 people in their Facebook news feeds. If you apply how many people actually engaged to that post, even if I took the post that had 6 engagements on it, that engagement rate is 0.2%, meaning it was probably his mom, a close friend, a girlfriend, or his PR team or whoever is handling his social media created that post and immediately afterwards liked it themselves. And I'm telling you, don't ever do that. If you create a post on Facebook and you turn around and like it yourself, that's like the 101. That's Facebook 101 mistake right there. It makes you look very, very desperate and turns people off from your content. You shouldn't need to rely on cheap tricks like that in order to build your fan base. So this guy's Twitter is actually no better. He joined in 2012, has 340 tweets since then, following 38.8 thousand with 82.1 thousand followers on Twitter. Again, these numbers were probably leveraged from appearing on this national network television show. It has to do with music. You could probably take a wild guess at what I'm talking about. His tweets were spread very far apart. I mean, Twitter in general, it's okay to tweet very often each day. Like you could tweet 5-10 times a day. I mean, that's expected within the Twitter audience, and people don't get annoyed by it. And you can tweet very sparingly. What matters is what you're tweeting about. And this guy was tweeting constantly for people to buy this album that he was releasing. All right. So let's take the the tweets that he's put out so far. Taking a look at them with how many followers he only has just 1 or 2 retweets here, replies, favorites. It's very sparse concerning just the massive amount of people who are actually following on Twitter. And when it comes to these posts that have this link on it to his iTunes page to purchase his album, you want to know what happens when I clicked on that link? This message pops up. Item not available. The item you've requested is currently not available in the US store. Oh my God. Someone is obviously asleep at the wheel here, or just drunk. All right. Someone's not paying attention. If you're going to sell an album, at least make sure your link works. Really bad. Trying hard not to laugh. So ask yourself this question. Is this artist making any money? All right. No. Considering their link doesn't work, no, they're not making any money. However, even if their link was working with just the low amount of engagement, considering the sheer amount of followers that they have, and the fact that they promote so much, they're just promoting the album on Twitter, I seriously doubt that they're actually selling any of those albums, because I'm telling you guys, no one goes onto social media to buy stuff. They don't go on there for that. They go on. People go on to Twitter to find out what's happening. They want to learn about the news. You know, they want to know what's trending. People go on to Facebook because they want to know what their friends are up to. You know, what their family members are up to. They want to see what cool like video their friend is gonna share, and that they're not going on there thinking like I'm gonna log on to Facebook so I can buy a new pair of shoes or buy an album. Okay, or get tickets to some tour. They're not on there for that. Okay, there's something much better than any social media where you actually can sell music, can sell tickets, and fans will support you by pulling out their wallet. So to illustrate this example, not only of a better way to sell, okay, other than social media, but also illustrate this point about how social media numbers, they're deceiving. Okay, we're going to take another artist that I actually had on the show not so long ago. Her name is Joy Ike. She makes a full-time living with music. Okay, when she wakes up in the morning, right, and has some coffee, which I think she does, she's a coffee drinker, she does nothing but music or music-related stuff. Either she's creating music or she's promoting her music. Either way, she gets paid to create her own music. All right, this is music she writes. Right? And she has a fan base that buys her albums, that buys tickets, that hooks up house concerts. You know, she tours. All right, this is all from music. She's doing what so many people say musicians nowadays can't do, and that's make a living with music. All right, so let's take a look at her social media, her Facebook stats. All right, not a ton of likes. 3,163 likes at the time I created this video. Last post was 4 hours ago. She had 30 likes and 2 comments on that. It's 32 points of engagement on her Facebook page. Okay, so let's see. If you apply the 4% to that, she reached 126 people, at least. Her with 33 points of engagement. Okay, those 30 comments, or I think it was 32. 30 comments and 2 shares, or 30 likes and 2 comments. That's an fan engagement rate of 25%, okay? 32 or 33 on 126, 25%. That's 125 times more fan engagement than the other artists we were just talking about. All right? And she has like close to 3,000 Facebook likes total to her page. This dude had 3,000 people that he reached in a single post, because that was 4% of his total likes, which was 69,000. All right. So ask yourself, does she have fans? Do these people care? Are these people have the potential to be hardcore fans, to be the true fans that we've heard about that will actually support your career. Highly, highly likely. So if you take a look at her Twitter, it's looking good too. She posts consistently, and she has a consistent engagement rate on each of her tweets that's comparable because she has less followers. If she had 82,000 followers, I'd expect that she would have more engagement. She would have more retweets, more replies, and so on and so forth, simply because her numbers are larger. But she's doing well on Twitter too. So Joy is a musician without a label, making a living with music. And it's not because of social media, because like I said, people don't go on social media to buy stuff. They don't, all right? How she does it is something else, because there's something else she uses that actually gets fans to support her by pulling out their wallet and buying from her. And also, it's how she establishes that strong relationship and really, really connects with the fans, shares her story, the fans reply back, she responds, and they start a really strong conversation. Totally blows social media out of the water. And that's her email list. Okay. Now, on this clip here, I have a image of MailChimp. She actually uses another email provider service. But the bottom line is that she has an email provider service or software that she manages her email list. She focuses on getting people onto that list. Then she builds relationships with them by sending them emails, like telling her fans about herself, sending them updates on the newsletter. If someone contacts her through email, she's on top of it, responding to that. Very, very responsible. And she does it all through her email list. I mean, when I interviewed her on the Seeds Music Show, she told me that her email list it just changed her career. It was her number one tool. Like, she had an open promise to any musician out there. Once you start really building your email list, I promise you things will change. You'll see a difference in your career. You'll see your career start to grow, and you'll actually start to see your fans buying from you. So don't focus on big social media numbers. I don't want you to get caught up in chasing after them, thinking that because you don't have 1,000, 3,000, 7,000, 15,000 Facebook likes that you're a failure, because that's not true. Okay, I'm not saying that there aren't artists out there who have big social media numbers and are not making a living. I mean, there's examples out there of musicians with large following on social media, and they are making a living. Okay, so there's that side of it too. But there's also the other side, those that have the big numbers and they're not making a living. So it's not something that you need to get all caught up in and frustrated over it, okay? Because you have to focus on quality over quantity, all right? The quality of the relationships with your fans. And that's going to come with the email list. Social media is great. Yeah, it's an awesome way for people to instantly connect with you and share like cool videos and get closer to you and as an artist, as a person. And that's what's really going to get people to follow you. Not just your music, is that connection that you're building with them, okay? But the email list just is so much more personal, okay? Because they give you your email address, they give you something that they don't have to give you. It's like their permission, okay? Fans are giving you permission to contact with them. It's got that feeling of the personalized letter. They're typing it, and there's not a lot of things pulling their attention away, in that email inbox. There's no news feed, okay, scrolling by when they're reading that email. So they're much, much more focused. So focus on the quality over the quantity. Put all your focus into building an email list of your fans, okay, and leverage social media to do that. Send out a tweet or a Facebook post telling people, hey, I got this new track that's not available anywhere else. You can get it for free. All you got to do is head over to this URL, this page on my website, punch in your email address, and hit subscribe. You'll get the free tracks right away, plus updates on all my upcoming shows and more free stuff. Simple as that. So big numbers on social media don't necessarily really mean anything, but big numbers on an email list, those do matter, because these are your biggest fans. So when you have 100 people on your email list, that's a direct connection to 100 of your biggest fans. If you got 1,000, that's 1,000 of your biggest fans. You got 3,000 on your list, that's 3,000 of people who are your biggest fans. All right. And the more you build that email list, the more connections you have with the people who actually care, because they're the ones that are most likely to actually support you by buying your music. Doesn't matter that people pirate music. Doesn't matter that Spotify doesn't pay artists crap for streaming. Doesn't matter that Pandora is trying to screw artists over. Doesn't matter that a big label won't give you a record deal. None of that matters. This is where it's at. It's in the email list and the relationships you build with those fans and turning them into true fans that will support you. So until next time, remember, we are the future of music.